One of the first things we're going to cover today, when we're inside control bottom, when our partner's having good effect with their shoulder or bicep in our face, we really shouldn't be striving to escape just yet. So we're going to cover dealing with the crossface, the jiu-jitsu style crossface. Let's review a little bit on our frames and our what our body's doing. This forearm, the bottom third, typically, is going to be in his hip. If you go with the inside edge of your palm to the hip, if you're that shallow or they're that big, that's perfectly fine. But we're looking for this inside edge at the hip. This other arm, come in here for a second, is going to be on his neck, typically. Maybe on the clavicle if he's really long, but usually it's going to be somewhere on the neck. I really want you to focus on this bottom third of your forearm being there. In a perfect world. We'll cover times when this isn't plausible, but I want this to be your contact point. To the end that maybe sometimes your hand's floating. Now, I don't want it to typically float. Sometimes you'll connect it where you're bookending their arm, but often you can cup the back of the shoulder, not the front where we get wrist locked, the back of the shoulder. Or if you're going to be shallow, sometimes you can grab fabric at the neck. But most important is set that bottom third of your forearm in, and then find an attachment with your hand that feels comfortable and is safe, where you're not going to get wrist locked. Now, from here, once we've set our frames, our feet are just we're going to typically load our hips by bringing our feet close to our hips. This knee, the one closest to them, an alternative alignment is to have it touching his quadricep or his side and stepping on our own quad, as opposed to being like this, where sometimes we're maybe inviting a foot lock, just stepping like this. You're not going to be super tight, taxing your hip flexor on this leg. You're just clogging the lane so it's not easy to mount or go to knee on belly without you feeling it coming. That's the only goal. We just want to be able to feel what's coming. We can clog the lane and stop it altogether, awesome. But we're clogging the lane temporarily so we can feel what's going. Maybe stop it short term and start to get to our escapes. We're going to cover a number of alternative hand configurations, but I'm going to try to always start with this one as your main reference point and then showing you how to segue to another one, although sometimes we'll just be in another one.